quite a lot to discuss really in terms of not only Richard extending his stay, but an overall restructure and the aim of pushing on for next season.
Yeah, I think it's really important, isn't it, that at the end of any season, you review what's gone on, and you adjust and you make changes to make sure that we're stronger going forward. And I think it's been a pretty when you look at a 12-month period, a lot's happened in the last 12 months. We got promoted. That happened late on because of the playoffs. We then went through the audit for the academy, which took a huge amount of manpower and focus. My role's changed during the season in October, from Director of Football to Chief Exec. We then had the big cup run, and the 2 games against Manchester United really took over everything. So I think the end of the season is the right time to reflect on everything and then make sure that we're making the right changes moving forward, which is what we think we've done.
And obviously central to that is Richard remaining at the club. He's going to be here for the next 3 years. And also a change in title as well, which to some fans may seem quite subtle, from head coach to manager, but it does reflect what you're looking to do overall, and with your role as chief executive, just spreading the workload slightly differently.
Yeah, I think when we originally had the idea and thought the right way forward was director of football and head coach, it was to ensure that there was some continuity and to make sure that the right structures were in place for this club. Now, you have to evolve and recognise that different roles have changed within the organisation. So once my role changes from director of football to chief exec, that means that I've got responsibility for the whole business rather than just the football department. And also we now have had Richard here for 2.5 years, so we know what we've got. We know what a massive influence he's had in terms of developing the team, but also what he can offer in terms of helping us to develop as a club within the football department. So I think there is a subtle difference in manager to head coach. I think it's, to be clear in terms of what they are, it is more of managing the staff on a day-to-day basis and the recruitment process. And when we talk about that, I think people need to understand what a huge job that is, just in getting players to even meet you, and then speaking to agents and getting deals in any way ready to do. How we'll actually execute those deals will be no different. No player has come to the club in the last 2.5 years that Richard hasn't wanted to sign, and I'll continue to negotiate the contracts. But I think a lot of the process to the point of which we want to sign those players will now be done by Richard. And I think it's just, for me, an obvious step forward into broadening Richard's ability to shape the club and the football department. We can strengthen the department around him with a couple of other appointments as well, in terms of Matt Walker and Mark Bonner, who've previously shared roles with the academy. And I think it gives us, with Joe's addition to the group as well, a really strong staff for Richard to manage.
And Richard, having been at the club now for getting on for 3 years, 2.5 years, you know the place inside out, and does now feel like the right time really to be pushing on, to be increasing your role, to be doing all the things that have been set out in this statement?
Yeah, I think the big thing that people need to really understand is that my role really doesn't change too much in terms of I'm the team manager. I select the players. I always have done, and I will continue to do that. But I think what we've realised, I don't think either of us really understood the impact of Jez becoming chief exec in October, and the impact that would have on the football department. And and as Jez has already said, the 2 games against Man United has added to that. And we've had a lot of discussions really over the last 2 or 3 weeks about the club that we were, the club that we've become, and the club that we want to develop. And the club we are this summer is a vastly different animal to what it was last summer, and we want to create a beast going forward, because we think we're capable of doing it. And a part of this process today is to make everyone in the football industry out there understand that this is a club that wants to go places, and this is a club that can. There won't be many clubs in the football pyramid that are better placed than us right now to progress in the way that everyone would want to. We recruited players 2 years ago to get us promoted. Last summer we try to put a squad together that we genuinely felt would keep us in this league and could probably dream of going higher. And the task this summer is to put a group together that can realistically take this club higher, and that's what we're going to try and do.